Hello there and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to sew these little baby shoes together. I'll walk you through the whole process step by step, adding the fleece, sewing the heel pieces, inserting the elastic, attaching the sole and finishing everything neatly on the inside. The construction is actually quite straightforward once you start putting the pieces together, and I'll show you everything slowly so you can easily follow along. The pattern includes 8 different sizes, and the sizing is based on foot length, which makes it so much easier to choose the right size. And if you like to sew your own pair, the pattern is now available on my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link in the description below. Alright, let's start sewing.
Start by cutting all your main fabric pieces according to the pattern. Pay attention to fabric direction if your fabric has one, and most importantly, transfer every single notch from the paper pattern onto your fabric. These small marks will guide you later when matching pieces together. Next, cut all your lining pieces in exactly the same way. Again, make sure all notches are transferred so everything lines up correctly when sewing. If you would like to add fusible fleece or felt for extra structure, you can do so. Cut your main fabric and lining pieces using the paper pattern as it is, since the pattern already includes a 0.5 cm seam allowance. For the fleece or interfacing, trim the seam allowance of the paper pattern first by cutting carefully along the seam line. Then use this adjusted pattern to cut your fleece or interfacing pieces. This prevents extra bulk inside the seams. Also, since this is a pair of shoes, don't forget to cut each piece twice. You'll need 2 identical sets of pieces because shoes always come in pairs. Now take 1 sole piece, 1 toe piece, and 1 heel piece from your main fabric and place them in front of you. Turn them so the wrong sides are facing up. Place the fusible fleece with the glue side against the wrong side of the fabric. Center it carefully so the 0.5 cm seam allowance remains visible all around the edges. Once positioned, fuse it in place with your iron, applying steady heat and pressure so the adhesive bonds properly to the fabric. Now we'll prepare the heel section. Take 1 heel piece from the main fabric and 1 from the lining. Since the lining fabric looks the same on both sides, I'm placing a small piece of tape labeled back on one side so you can easily tell the difference and follow along more clearly on camera. Place them right sides together, aligning all edges and notches. Sew along the top curved edge using a 0.5 cm seam allowance. Open the seam and press it flat so the top edge sits neatly. This step makes a big difference in how clean the finish looks. Next, turn the piece so the wrong sides are facing you and align the bottom notches. Make sure all raw edges are stacked evenly and nothing is shifted. To create the elastic casing, sew a straight line across the heel, 1 cm down from and parallel to the top edge. This creates a tunnel for the elastic. Prepare your elastic. It should be 0.75 cm wide. Cut it according to the size chart in the How Should My Elastic Lengths Be section. Attach a safety pin securely to one end of the elastic. Then carefully insert the pinned end into the casing opening. Gently push and guide the safety pin through the tunnel, gathering the fabric as you go, until it comes out from the other side. Once it appears, make sure the elastic is visible and accessible from both ends of the casing. Align the ends of the elastic with both openings of the casing and secure them with pins to prevent the elastic from slipping back inside. Secure each end with a small stitch close to the tunnel openings so the elastic cannot slip back in. If you apply a little steam with your iron at this stage, the gathers will distribute more evenly and look much neater. Now take the heel piece you just sewed and the toe piece from the main fabric. We're going to join them next. Match the short edges of the heel piece to the notches on the toe piece. Those notches are there to guide you, so use them. Make sure the heel sits evenly between the notch and the corner. Take the heel piece and place it right sides together with the toe piece. Position it at the bottom corner, aligning the raw edges carefully and making sure the elasticated edge meets the notch exactly. Pin it in place perpendicular to the edge to keep everything secure. Then repeat the same process on the other short edge, positioning it between the opposite notch and corner and pinning it the same way. Once the heel is positioned correctly, take the lining toe piece, and as you can see, I've marked one side as back again for clarity. Place the right side of the lining toe piece on top of the lining heel piece. Align all the edges carefully and secure everything with pins so nothing shifts while sewing. Make sure the notches along the bottom edge of the lining toe piece and the main fabric toe piece are aligned with each other. You can remove the perpendicular pins and reuse them to secure all layers together along the edge. After pinning along the edge, as you can see, the heel piece is now sandwiched neatly between the two toe pieces. Sew across that edge using a 0.5 cm seam allowance. Take your time and keep the layers aligned as you sew. After sewing, turn the piece so the right sides are facing up and press directly along the seam so it sits flat and clean. Then bring the two toe pieces together so their wrong sides are touching. Make sure all the raw edges along the bottom curve are aligned evenly. Pin around the piece at several points, matching the notches and seam lines carefully. Sew a basting stitch approximately 2 mm from the edge, staying within the seam allowance. Go all the way along the bottom edge. This step secures all layers together and makes attaching the sole much easier and more controlled. Now take the main fabric sole piece. We're going to attach it to the shoe body. Start by matching the front notch of the shoe with the front notch of the sole. Then match the back notch to the back notch. After that, align the two seam lines of the shoe with the two side notches on the sole. These points will anchor everything in place. Once those key points are aligned, continue pinning evenly all the way around the curve. Make sure the fabric sits smoothly, don't stretch it and don't force it. Just ease it gently into position so the curve follows naturally. Sew all the way around using a 0.5 cm seam allowance. You can sew from the fleece side by following the edge of the fleece as your guide, or you may find it easier to sew from the lining side. Both methods work. Choose whichever feels more controlled for you. Now, to attach the lining sole piece, turn the shoe so the lining side is facing upwards and place it in front of you. I marked one side of the lining sole piece with back again, so you can clearly distinguish the wrong side. Place it in front of you with the right side facing up. Start by matching the front notch of the shoe with the front notch of the sole. Then match the back notch to the back notch. After that, align the two seam lines of the shoe with the two side notches on the sole. Gently gather the toe pieces and heel pieces toward the center. Be careful here, don't wrinkle or distort the edges of the sole piece. You just want the upper part of the shoe out of the way so you can clearly see and align the sole. With everything gathered toward the center, place the lining sole piece on top with its wrong side facing up. Make sure the right sides of the lining pieces are touching each other. Match the front notch first, then the back notch, and then the side seam lines to the side notches, just like before. Pin all the way around the curve, keeping everything smooth and evenly distributed. As you pin, make sure the gathered pieces underneath are not folding over on themselves and that no fabric is getting trapped or bunched up under the seam line. Take your time here, the layers should sit flat and clean all the way around. On one of the side edges, leave an opening of approximately 3 or 4 cm, depending on the size you are sewing. This opening will be used to turn the shoe right side out later. Sew the rest of the edge using a 0.5 cm seam allowance, making sure to backstitch at both the beginning and the end of your seam. After sewing, before turning, take a moment to check the seam allowance carefully. Look closely along the stitching line from between the layers to make sure the fabric hasn't folded or bunched up underneath the seam. This step prevents surprises after turning. Once you're sure everything is sewn flat and correctly, turn the shoe right side out through the opening you left. Use your fingers to gently shape the curves and push everything into place. To complete the process, we now need to close the opening you left for turning. First, carefully fold the raw edges of the opening inward along the seam allowance so they align neatly with the stitched edges around them and sit flush with the rest of the seam. Thread a needle with matching thread and begin sewing a ladder stitch. Insert the needle into one folded edge, then cross over to the opposite folded edge, taking small, even stitches back and forth between the two sides. Continue this motion along the entire opening. As you gently pull the thread, the stitches will draw together and disappear into the seam, leaving a clean and nearly invisible finish, just like in the illustration. After neatly closing the opening with a leather stitch, turn the shoe right side out. Use your fingers to gently push out all the curves and shape it so the form of the shoe becomes nice and defined. To help it take its final shape, stuff a soft piece of fabric inside the shoe. Make sure it reaches into all the little corners and curves, really filling out every nook and cranny so the shape looks smooth and even. Then, give it a good press with your iron. Shape it as you press the top, the sides, and the sole, following the natural form of the shoe. And just like that, one shoe is complete. Take a moment to check the shape. Smooth out the seams with your fingers and make sure everything looks even and well formed. Follow the exact same steps to sew the other one. Once both are finished, you'll have a beautifully shaped little pair, structured on the outside and just as neat on the inside. Clean seams, soft gathers, and a comfortable fit, exactly how baby shoes should feel. If you'd like to sew your own pair, you can find the pattern at the link below. It comes in 8 different sizes, all based on foot length, so you can get the best fit possible. Sew a tiny pair for your own baby, make one as a sweet handmade baby shower gift, or stitch a special pair for your grandchild. These are the kind of small projects that turn into keepsakes. Thank you so much for sewing along with me. If this tutorial helped you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more sewing projects like this. I can't wait to see your little pairs. See you in the next one. Happy sewing!